Welcome back, my fellow servants of the God Emperor. It is the Ash Heritor, and, wait, I already said welcome back. This is Rogue Trader, with all the DLCs and stuff. Anyways, we have finished up our business on Thessera. We have killed Bluff, aka the actual governor of Thessera, and we have liberated Maeve. And, turns out there was some warp-reactive rock under the ground, which was responsible for at least some of the problems on Thessera. But anyways, here we are in Lavella's heart, and we actually can explore for the first time in quite some time, I should say. So let's chart new routes. And honestly, I'm curious to see, because this is all DLC stuff, because this whole area was opened up by the DLC. So I reckon we're gonna find some maybe DLC related stuff here. Neos Choroitus. Let's head there. This place looks fun. Regular warp travel? Or do we make it safe? I've got only a little bit of Navigator's insight, so I'm gonna just take the dangerous route and hope for the best.
Lord Captain, we have visitors on the bridge seeking an audience. Your presence is required.
We should also talk to, what's his name? Our, arbitrator buddy. He did kind of save our asses after we were body swapped with Maeve by sending Glyto with us. That was pretty fun. Anyways, if you are enjoying this series, do drop this video a like. It helps out a lot, especially in the rough times that my channel is currently in. Oh, we have ourselves a little bit of a gathering going on. These are,
Your ladyship.
The high factotum bows low. Every few moments, Danrock brings a perfumed cloth to his face, but his expression remains obsequious.
Most of your crew have made a request to allow them to proclaim their most profound devotion to the Lord Captain. Personally, young man.
Okay. A man in a worn uniform bows awkwardly.
Your Highness, gracious Lord Captain, please let me speak on behalf of the whole crew and everyone, and express our gratitude to you, officially, so to speak. The kind leader you are, the way you treat people, it's now known in every corner of the expanse, from Footfall to the poorest, dirtiest, most unremarkable planet. All praise your dedication to the human spirit and goodwill.
Is this like a cornerstone thing for achieving a certain level of iconoclast? I should look at see where I'm at.
Everyone wants to serve under your command, and there's no end to the volunteers. So the other day, when we were clearing out an abandoned sector for new living quarters, we found a forgotten vault, right in the bilge of the ship, literally beneath our feet. Well, it turned out the vault had some centuries-old weapons in it. They look a bit odd, but they're powerful for sure. The good tech priests helped with the assembly and the consecration of the weapons, and now you can strike down your enemies with even greater might.
Your ladyship, apart from the weapons, the crew has sent more find to the bridge as a token of its eternal gratitude. A most ancient mechanism which our tech priests have dubbed the Celestium Observatorum. Alas, its machine spirit refuses to heed their rites, which makes the device more symbolic and aesthetic than practical in purpose. Do you wish to see it?
Of course. Oh, cool. So we get a new thing on the bridge. Exciting. Is that a trophy? Okay. The Celestium Observatorum looms over the deck. While the spirit of this ancient mechanism has gone silent forever, the words intricately inscribed on its frame can still serve as a source of resolve. A keen gaze sunders the darkness of gloom with deceit and reduces all corruption to ash. Pretty cool. Anybody have anything to say on this? No, probably not. Let's quickly have a look around. There's a couple things we can do. First off, I did do some kind of just arbitrary building projects in my own time. At this point, there's nothing really interesting, except for one, which I do need to wait a little bit on. But we'll get to that. Let's quickly see if we can order the shipping and transportation of some goods. So we're at max with the Fellowship of the Void. That's great, I guess. We could definitely get some more Oh, hello, a dark lance. Alright. I mean, I'll take it. Swordsman body glove. The wearer has less than 50% wounds. Their dodge and melee crit chance are increased by 6%. Plus 10% dodge if the wearer's agility is more than 50. It's okay. I'll take it anyways. Ironclad argument. 20 coercion. Okay. Whoop, hold on. Steel triad. It's a shield. There are 3 copies of this shield. The wearer gains bonuses on the number of adjacent allies wielding the steel triad. Okay, that's kind of fun. To make a shield wall. Plus 1 ally, that gives 2 deflection and 10% block. 2 ally, the combat master talent, 10% block, and area damage suffered reduced by 30%, and something else. Anyways, we'll buy it. I probably won't use it, because I'm not going to have 3 shield-wielding people in my party. Spiked gloves. The wearer's melee attacks gain 15% armor penetration. Only for Drukhari, okay. That would be good on, like, the base Marazai build, because I think most of the Drukhari weapons don't have the best armor penetration. Some of them probably do, but that's cool. If the target's armor is less than or equal to the wearer's armor penetration, the target must pass a toughness resistance test with plus 20 bonus or suffer bleeding 4. And also cool if you're using weapons with armor penetration. That's pretty good. I will grab that. And I think there's a couple of... Yeah, they added more stuff in. That I know. They also added more stuff in to the update. However, I do not have the update. What is this? Wrathful Mask. Okay, that's different looking. Okay. I'm contemplating which pieces I want, where I want to invest my resources. There's always the Explorators. These guys have all kinds of good stuff. Okay, Inertia Boots. If the wearer's melee attack is dodged, parried, or scores a critical hit, the wearer regains agility bonus movement points and does not provoke attacks of opportunity until the end of their round. That's pretty solid. Fox Beacon. The wearer is an Overseer. Their first Overseer archetype ability in a round costs 0 AP. That's awesome. Heavy Shield. Okay, it's just a better shield. Acceptable. Soul Pattern Shotgun. Okay, just shotgun with more damage. New shield here. Gunnery Shield. I'm not going to read everything. We're just going to look at them when I re-equip, what's his name? Solomorn. Once the wearer's wounds drop 50%, below 50% for the first time in combat, they immediately gain temporary wounds equal to their missing wounds. That's really good. Battle Stimulator Kits. Sure thing. Vivisector's Visor. Where single attacks on an opening deal an additional... that's a solid amount of extra damage. The wearer's Deadeye Shot on an opening deals the same thing, but even more. Okay. Good assassin piece. Nice new Power Axe. We'll check that in comparison to Pascal's. Elder Flow. Okay, so this is for Irliet. The wearer's first attack during the first round of combat costs 0 AP. Nice Alpha Strike. Whenever the wearer attacks an enemy and triggers an exploit with this attack, the triggered effect is calculated as if the enemy had +1 exploit. Okay. It's okay. Don't know if it's better than what she has, but that could be good. Smiter, a nice little power pick. I kind of wish the power pick had a little bit more... I don't think it's a power pick. It's probably just a regular pick. No, it is a power weapon. That should have higher armor penetration. Picks already should have good armor penetration, and then power weapon should have even more. Oh, this weapon ignores the target's armor and deflection. Never mind. Just read farther, Ash. This weapon has an extra attack action, which increases the armor penetration of all subsequent attacks made against the same target by 10 for 1 round. Not bad. Not bad. The damage isn't super high, however, it's got plenty of other stuff going for it. Whenever the wearer uses Carnival of Misery, they immediately heal to full. Okay. I know Carnival of Misery has some, like... It was completely broken, if you combined it with, like, Pyromancy and stuff. I'm not interested in game-breaking combos that kind of... I mean, you've already seen that I put Cassia on the sidelines most of the time because she's overpowered. I don't want to be overpowered. I want to be good, but I want to come up with my own strategies to being good. So anyways, that's why, like, I haven't bothered with Carnival of Misery much. I'll use it if it seems like it's an interesting opportunity to use it. But I'm not going to build the that build, though I don't think that's possible in the update. At some point, I will reinstall the game again and see if the update works, but that's a time-involved process, and time is a luxury I do not have. Portable motive force storage. If worn by an overseer, the wearer can use overcharge multiple times per combat, but only once per round. Okay, so that's the ultimate. Okay, overcharge, I'm not sure how good that is, to be honest. Thunderhammer. Where it's always critically hits against stunned and prone targets. Critical damage is increased by 80%. Interesting. Could be good. Advanced heavy stubber. I want to have a character using heavy weapons, I just don't know who. I mean, obviously Argenta would be a good option, but I like the Argenta build that I have. And also, a Sister of Battle with a heavy stubber, give her a heavy bolter. Or like a multi-melta. Portable deflector, where always auto-dodges the first hit from each attacker on the battlefield. That's cool. Okay. Soul Pattern Long Las. We got a couple of things here. Ghost Helm, excuse me. Like, what, 10th first and only ghosts? No. It has something to do with psychic stuff. Okay. Nice flamer there from the, and a Astartes bolter. Adeptus Astartes equipment. Okay, that could be good. However, I think there were still other things, like from the Drusians, that I want. Anyways, we have an Excruciator Maul, way too low damage to be of relevance. I'm going to immediately add this to cargo. Armor of the Final Threshold. Might look cool. While the wearer has 75% or more wounds, the deflection is increased by 3 and their parry is increased by 40%. Base armor properties plus 1 deflection against melee attacks. That's... I mean, the armor property... See, it ain't bad. I mean, okay, it's heavy armor. 40% armor. And 1 deflection. Circumstantially, that could be good. Solid shield in armies? In armies? I don't know how to pronounce that. The wearer can use shield swing with their shield against multiple enemies in the area. The wearer's shield attacks deal an additional plus toughness bonus damage. Cool. Very cool. Deathworld War Boots. These boots grant their wearer a plus 50% dodge reduction bonus for attacks with melee weapons. I mean, yeah, actually, okay. Yeah, that could be good. Radiant Gloves. The item grants the wearer plus 5 bonus to parry reduction. If the wearer has Conviction Iconoclast, all allies gain 16% hit chance against enemies adjacent to the wearer. The wearer automatically dodges allies' melee attacks. Okay. Exciting. I think this is where I wanted to go down, because A, there's a lot of stuff here, and there's a Space Wolf helmet, and there's some extra cool... Yeah, there's just all kinds of awesome stuff here. I think we want to give some stuff to the Drusians. Get some more rep with them. So let's just see how far this will get us. Let's set the next tier. We'll go even further. Need like 2,000-ish. I'm not. Okay, fuck it. I'm going to go even further. Next one, we're at 12. We don't even need that much here. Okay, 1,000-ish. Nope, don't do that. Okay. Well, we, I'm going all the way here. Alright, that's probably as far as we're going to get right now, so that's going to open up quite a lot of other options here. Silent Death. Whenever the wearer suffers a trauma in combat, if they have more than 0 wounds, they immediately regain 17 wounds. 10 dodge if the wearer's weapon skill is more than 55. For only 35% armor, I don't know. That I'll have to look at that in comparison to other things. Here we have a heavy flamer at long last. Don't know who's going to use that, if anyone, but it's cool to have. Same with the heavy bolter down there, I see. A Martyr's Penance. Oh, this is an Inferno pistol ring. That's cool. Triumph of Retribution, one-handed sword. Whenever the wearer kills an enemy with this weapon, Veil Degradation is reduced by 8. The sword deals an additional 4 damage. I feel like this is not very good. Its damage is super low. So I think I'm going to, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I clicked on it and now it's gone forever. Well, anyways, Executioner's Gauntlets increases the critical damage of where it hurts, including the damage from the attack itself, and extra instances of damage over time effects by 14. That's of interest. Though, who are my executioners? Kibella. Is Kibella an executioner or an assassin? I think she's an executioner. Yes, she must be. Anyways, Roaring Thunder. And then, of course, Marazai, but he can't wear that, I think. Roaring Thunder, that's another Thunder Hammer here. Just not much damage. Seal of Death, arf arf. Whenever the wearer kills an enemy with Blade Dance, other enemies adjacent to the wearer become staggered for 1 round. Okay, good, but probably not good enough to warrant equipping. Condensed Carapace, the wearer's critical hit chance in melee combat is increased by 6%. Gain plus 10% dodge against human enemies. 42% armor for light armor ain't bad, actually. And a Heavy Bolter. Glory be. Is there anything immediately in the next rank that I want? No, everything that I want is further down. 2 Space Wolf helmets, even. And, some other stuff. Damn, that's gonna take a little while to get to. I will probably go through my stuff at some point and get rid of everything that's irrelevant. However, I'm not going to do that on camera, because that would be boring. Let's quickly check... We checked the Explorators. Did we check the Casbalica? We did. Fellowship of the Void. Impulse Boots. Whenever the wearer makes a melee area attack, they regain 2 movement points and 6% critical hit chance. Okay. Lasts until the end of round. Acid Spitter. Not much damage, but, you know, do other stuff. Old Shield, probably not very good. The Torturer. More damage to stunned and staggered targets. Defender. It's a shield. Okay. The wielder gains 28 temporary wounds for each adjacent ally. Whenever an adjacent ally takes damage, 30% of that damage is dealt to the wielder instead. That's cool. Get some of these. Cultist armor plates. Exciting. Wish it looked... No, it does look pretty culty. Never mind. Requires Heretical Zealot. I don't think we have anybody with that. Slicing Symbol. Whenever the wearer uses slash, dash, or kick, they regain 3 movement points and 6 momentum. Okay. See, here's a force weapon that's worth a little bit of something. That could be good. Yeah, it's just a force sword with a lot of damage. A well-maintained Weber. Okay, so that one's actually doing a bit of damage for a web gun. The net cannon. That might be worth something. Dancing on Blood. Blood Oath or Oath of Vengeance. They gain... Okay, they gain a use of dash costing 0 AP. Okay. Sturdy Shield Straps. Whenever the wearer's successful counterattacks triggered by Stalwart Defense always score a critical hit and deal 25% more critical damage. Well, that might be awesome. Okay, Blade's Clone Field. Whenever the wearer fails to parry an attack, they can reroll the parry test once. If the wearer dual wields melee weapons, they can reroll the parry test twice. Oh, God. Alright, Warp Grenade. Awesome. Gunnery Shields. Reloading a shotgun costs 0 AP. Okay, so that's... We have a lot of shield options for Solomorn. Panoply of the Assassin. Each round, the wearer's dodge is increased by 10% until the end of combat. This effect resets after any attack made on the wearer. Okay, okay. So if no one's attacking him, or her... Also, you know, you don't have to be an assassin to wear this. It doesn't have anything to do with openings. And then 15% dodge against range attack. That's pretty good. And then Final Chord. When shooting the last shell from this shotgun, this shot ignores the target's armor. The target must pass an agility resistance test or become immobilized. Interesting. It's got 4 ammo, so you gotta kind of time that right. Could be cool. A Scarf. If the wearer is not wearing any armor, at the start of combat, they gain 56% dodge. The wearer's psi rating is increased by 2. Cool. Huh. Star Mist Scarf, I mean. The wearer ignores weapon recoil while performing burst attacks. The rate of fire of the wearer's weapon is increased by 28%. Rate of fire is rounded down to the nearest integer. I know where that's going. Providing she doesn't have anything better. Improved heavy bolter. Whenever you kill, this weapon increases its rate of fire by 1. Oh god. Oh boy. And Bedlam. Oh my god. Oh boy. That could be really fun. Anyways, we've got everything from them, so nothing more to be gained from those guys. And then the Imperial Navy here, we've got all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to look at it until we go into the ship screen. So we're going to do a little bit of upgrading. So I want to make sure we're ready to go. Ah, yeah. We can also give up some trophies here. Hide untradeable. Oh, boy. We've sure got some. So let's give up all of them. We haven't done this in a while, so... My lord. Select tradable. Yeah, trade everything. And we're at max. Alright, well. Done deal there. Nothing else we can do with those ship trophies. It's kind of a shame. I wish there was a little bit more to be done with them. Going back, I don't really see the need to save my resources for anything else, so... Select tradable. May as well get that. Yeah. That'll be all. I think there's going to be some other items here. The Astartes Bolter is, I think, the one that I'd rather have, so we can trade some stuff here that we can't trade to the other guys. And good to go there. I will also quickly check the Kasbalika, just to see if there's... Oh, there definitely is. Xenos artifacts that they want. Well, that's a lot. And we're at max. So, grab everything from the Kasbalika. Death Dealer gloves. Excuse me. The wearer's damage is increased by 2% for each critical hit, and for each enemy they killed until the end of combat. Drakari. Okay. Could be good. Impenetrable Shroud reduces the hit chance of all ranged attacks against the wearer and their allies by 33%. Okay. Need to be an Iconoclast Fanatic. I was like, where's the downside here? That seems absurdly good. No, you just need to be a Iconoclast Fanatic to get that. So, we might be there, though. Emergency Drill. Okay. With Drilling Strike. Interesting. Just giant power drill. Acrobatics Greaves. At the start of the turn, the wearer gains stacks of acrobatic trick equal to their movement points. These stacks can be used until the end of combat. This character can spend a stack of acrobatic trick to reroll an attack if missed, dodged, or parried, or to avoid an attack. That sounds really good. Implacable Tempest. Not much damage. This lasgun deals 20 additional damage to enemies with more than 60% armor. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how that would play out. Okay, this is more Heretic armor. Chaos Light Enforcer Carapace. Base armor properties, 20% dodge against demons, 15 toughness. Okay. Maybe. Deadly Dancer Boots. Whenever the wearer's movement points reaches 0, the wearer deals 6 impact damage to all adjacent enemies. Not enough damage to be worth anything, but that's reflecting my character's stats. That might be better on others. Crucible of Torment has solid armor piercing, solid damage. This wearer has an extremely short range ability, 2 cells, and increased damage 50%. Okay, so if you can get right up to them, you can roast them pretty good with that. That might be going to Jai. Staff of Shock and Awe. Okay, so some fancy lightning arc thing. Power level 18, 20 willpower. My god. Alright. That might be for me. RBT's Underarm Foe Hammer. Whenever the wearer kills a target with a melee attack for the first time in a round, they gain +1 free ranged attack from this weapon until the end of their turn. Awesome. Shadow Guide Cloak. The wearer becomes the least priority target as long as they have no enemies or allies adjacent. Okay. Earliet cloak. Anyone? Quick Eye Splinter Rifle. Might be relevant. I don't know what's special about it, aside from that its damage is quite high for a splinter weapon. It's got a lot of ammo, too. Anyways. Armor-piercing ammo. Where single shots and dead-eye shots reduce the target's deflection by the damage dealt. Wow. And reinforced Voidsman armor. Cool looking. Iconoclast Zealot. The wearer of this armor is immune to critical hits as long as no party members has been prone throughout the entire combat. Weird. Then 15% armor against melee attacks. It's a lot of armor, and it's medium, which is pretty good. Okay, let's quickly have a look at the party. Also, we gotta level some people up, so let's quickly level up Abelard here. Okay, yeah, just AP increase. Solid, done. Same thing here. Well, at least the leveling up won't take very long. That everyone? Definitely not. Heinrichs. Earliet. Urfa. And everyone's favorite, Marzai. Or Marzipan. Okay, we've got equipment, so let's first take a look at Solomorn. Actually, I wanted to quickly take a look at what my, We are almost at Iconoclast Zealot. Also almost at... Oh, no, sorry. We are almost at Iconoclast Votary. Never mind. We're still pretty low on these. Okay, that's fine. Going to Solomorn here. We want to look at the shields. Because... Let's see here. He's got this Insulator shield. Gunnery shield. It's already a better block chance, but I reckon we're going to get stuff with even more block chance. It would allow him to blind people on block. Okay. Old shield's probably not going to cut it. We'll add that to cargo. Defender. Right. 24 temporary wounds for each adjacent ally. It's cool. It's really cool, but I don't really play that way. And then, yeah, the Steel Triad. There are 3 copies of this shield. That's probably not going to be something I'm going to use. Adeptus Arbiter shield. This is the basic one. Cargo. And then the heavy shield here, 30% block chance. 1 deflection and 6% parry. Yeah, I don't know. Shield +1 deflection, reloading a shotgun costs 0. Or the I'm gonna go with the Radiant Shield. Also, it looks cool. Armor. Because he's got this Venom Chainmail. Like, it's kind of good because he is doing a lot of attacks of opportunity. It's just not thematic on him. So we're gonna look for something a little better. Condensed Carapace here. He can wear medium. Can he wear heavy? No. So we're gonna look for medium armor with, like, a very high armor value. Hold on. It's reactivator armor. Okay. Interesting. Base properties. So this is technically 45% armor, right? So we have here 55% from that. So if I equip this, this will do 45? Yeah, indeed. I mean, it looks good, but I don't know how good it is. Efficient Breacher's armor. 15% parry ain't bad. But it's just like, I don't know. Shadows of the Undying. Whenever the wearer dodges or parries an enemy attack, they gain 6 momentum. Base armor property. Yeah, weapon skill bonus, parry, and agility bonus. Neither of these... his agility is actually pretty good. Yeah, if his agility is pretty good, that might be something to look at. Agility bonus... Yeah, but the armor property there is just bad. Cargo. Head under light carapace, we don't need. This is an option. Warworld carapace is honestly kind of good. It's just, it doesn't look good. You know what I mean? And that's important. You gotta look good on the battlefield. Arguably more important than actually being effective. I'm joking. Unless it's a video game. Which this is, as it turns out, a video game. God, I'm gonna give him the reactivator armor just because it looks cool. Swashbuckler's goggles. Where shots in melee range have 20 bonus to dodge reduction. So he definitely can use some stuff there. But let's see if there's actually like a right proper helmet that he can use. He doesn't do attacks on the opening. He doesn't do taunting scream. Whereas ranged attacks gain 2% damage. That's nothing. Yeah, it's. I think that's just going to be what he's got. Shotgun-wise, so the nullifying shotgun is just. Does it do anything else? No, it's just 24 to 31 damage, 15% AP, and a little bit of dodge reduction. So that is worse in just about every way. It's got. No, it's got. Yeah, it's worse in every way. Yeah, but you can shoot twice with it if you parry an attack, or hit 2 or more enemies with the shotgun's ranged area attack. The problem is the damage is just bad. I think I'm ditching that. Autogun, he's not going to use. Anyways, final chord, here we go. I mean, he's got that cool... Yeah, and it looks... God, it looks awesome. Yeah, that's what he's using. I don't care. There's the soul pattern shotgun. Not as cool. Better than the one he previously had equipped. By a bit. It's less range. This one's got better range. No. It does not. I am full of lies. This one's got better AP, though. But substantially less damage. I'm just gonna send it to cargo. Whatever. Yeah. Anything else we want to give him? We've got him with this Rock Smasher. His weapon skill is terrible, so I'm going to ditch that. He can also use a shotgun in close combat, so there's really no reason for him to equip that. However, to go with... Oh, yeah, we got to give him the Foe Hammer. So that's just going to be great. Oh, whenever the wearer kills a target with a melee attack for the first time in a round, they gain +1 free range attack. Okay, never mind. Not the Foe Hammer. We're going to give that to somebody like Abelard, for example, who could make good use of that. So, in that case, I will be giving him the Weber. It's also thematic. Catching those dang enemies that try and run away from Imperial Justice. Ain't no one escaping there. So we have this shield strap here. Area attacks with weapons deal 15 damage long... Damn, these are all really good. So Stalwart Defense is... What now? Stalwart Defense. It's just a shield ability. Right. Only score a critical hit. Might make me want to use Stalwart Defense a bit. Long-range aim lens. I'm going to ditch the long-range aim lens on him. That will drastically reduce his range, because that was more than doubling his range. But I think it'll be fine. Yeah, we don't have any other helmets on him. Is there anything she can equip? There was the staff. The staff for Cyrene. Absolutely. Where is it? Staff of Shock and Awe with the power ranking infinity lightning blast. And then we keep the Warlock's Blade. Oh wow, we got like double psi focus stuff here. Hold on, what's the Warlock's Blade? It's lightning arc power level 9. Force sword. I mean, that's kind of cool. And she's got her sniper rifle. Fuck it, we're gonna have both. Yeah. Anything for Idira? She's got the cool singing spear, which is kind of fun. I don't think we have anything for her. Did we get anything for him? We sure got a new Omniscient Axe, which is substantially better than the previous one. So, no question there. Jihadari, I believe we've got you a better Drukhari weapon. Where's it at? Yeah, so you have the Pitch Black Desolator, which has been fun, to be sure. I might want to give you, like, a Hex Rifle. Inflict the Blood Bite effect. Oh. That could have some, like, forbidden synergy with Marazai. That could be fun. And we'll give her something to do at long range. Then again, that blaster, not the Pitch Black Desolator, but this one, the Crucible of Torment, if she gets up close and personal, that's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be quite a lot of damage. And she does like getting up close with these pistols. We still have the these two here. I think we're going to do that. I don't think we need anything new for her. Don't think there was anything new for her. There were some, like, trinkets and everything, but I don't recall off the top of my head which of those going to be the ones. There was the... No, not that one. Let's see. If they're not wearing any armor, start of combat they gain 36 dodge. And 2 psi rating. So... Oh, I have an idea. Ditch the armor on her. We're going to give her the Chartist Pendant. Screw it. We have the Gem of Dark Vitality. This isn't very good anymore. I'm not even sure if it was ever good, to be honest. Let's just get rid of that. So she's not wearing armor. Plus 2 psi rating. 60 dodge. We now have new good armor. Medium armor at that. Very solid. Where is it? 65. Yeah. Doesn't look as cool, but it's substantially better. Okay, I like that. Abelard. Yeah, I mean, the Bone Shatterer is cool and all, but we've got you with something that's actually perfect. I mean, I don't know if it's perfect, but... Where is it? Arbiti's Foe Hammer. And that's going to be just nice, you know. Keep him with the Craven's Bane Big Ol' Chainsword, or do we want to give him a Thunder Hammer? Chainsword has... also good armor penetration. Thunder Hammer's not that good. Neither is this one. Rock Smasher? Also not that good. Heavy Rock Drill? I don't think so. So we have this awesome Force Channeler sword. Let me quickly go here. He's got the Blood Drinker Staff. Oh yeah, this is... well, sure as hell better than that one. Get rid of that. 2 swords. Or do I give him the Imperium Channeler there? And then... sorry, the Immaterium's Channeler. I think that's what I'm going to do. We leave that there, and I don't know what we're going to give him in the offhand. His ballistic skill kind of sucks, so I think I'm just going to ditch these. I don't really have anything else. It's already got the blood. Hold on, what's the psi rating here? 13? Or, sorry, power staff rating. Also 13. Don't think we need 2 of these. He honestly doesn't really need a second weapon set. He's got both of what he does right here. Okay, Irliet. Your Archaeotech fusion gun and some other thing. You had, there was an item for you. And I don't really remember what it was. I mean, there's this. Let me ditch the beat of concentration. Okay, Ulfar. We don't have anything so crazy for you, unfortunately. Could give you a heavy bolter. But is that going to do as much damage as the weapon you currently have? Stardy's Flamer, though. That could be fun. Multi-Melta as well? That could also be really fun? I don't know. Marazai, did we have anything for you? Was the Splinter Rifle here that's just good at inflicting toxin? Got a couple of Dark Lances. I don't think we need to use those. There is this Hex Rifle, the Blood Bite one. Or Blood Blight. Problem is it's not inflicting a huge number of status effects, right? Or will it? Not immediately, so we can't exploit that turn. We have the Life Sunderer. Just not much damage. I kind of feel like heavy weapons should do more damage. Anyways, I think that's going to be good enough. So let's go save, because I did a fair amount of stuff. Quickly talk to Solomorn, and then we're going to get to doing some exploring. We'll do a bit of exploring, and then I think that's probably what we're going to do this episode. Is just do a little bit of exploring until something of interest happens. Where is Solomorn? Solomorn. There you are.
Rogue trader.
Nothing new to say. Alright.
You know where to find.
What about Glyto? Can we talk to you? We cannot. Okay. Anything we could talk to Einrich Montag? There's still the matter of the other DLC that has yet to resolve itself. Okay, I guess not. But anyways, let's proceed onwards into uncharted space. Neos Choroitus. Off we go. I thought we already got there, but apparently an event happened. And that canceled the trip. Okay. First time in a new system in quite a long time. I guess, except for Thessera. Phlogiston. We could use some phlogiston, to be honest. We have 14 extractions. What's our adamantium situation? 32. Fuck it. Grab it. I don't even know what we do with all of this. I feel like there should be more things to do with all of these resources, personally. The world-building projects are done and too easy. In my opinion. I also sincerely wish we were in a different ship than a sword class. I really feel like either a light cruiser or a straight-up cruiser would be more, I don't know, effective for the storytelling. It's like a frigate cannot go against a heavy cruiser, yet we did. One plasteel, no thank you. Okay, there might not be anything interesting in this system. And again, maybe I spoke too soon. The tiny colony is buried in an enormous yawning pit, the edges of its civilian structures barely visible from the shuttle. Uh-oh. Not another one. Explore the surface of the colony. The settlement was destroyed when the ground swelled up under it. The forlorn bones of dead colonists are strewn amid the rubble. On the edge of the crater, the scouts discover a tunnel entrance. Apparently, there was an explosion in the cavities beneath the town, whose unsuspecting people fell instantly into the chasm that opened as a result. Near its gaping maw is a shuttle, overturned and blackened by the blast, forever motionless. Let's investigate the shuttle first. Lying next to the shuttle are empty bomb containers and corpses clad in characteristic armor. The Voidcraft belonged to the Adeptus Arbites. Surviving records suggest that it was the Arbites who planted the explosives and collapsed the tunnels on top of their dwellers. Okay. Searching through the papers, you find the demolition plans. The arbitrators knew that detonating the tunnels would bury the colony, but prioritizing eliminating the criminals over preserving the lives of ordinary settlers. Yeah, typical. The documents also include a map of the Coronus Expanse containing encrypted data. It appears the arbitrators were aware of another smuggler's cache, but in a different system. Let's investigate the tunnel. Okay, get some trophies. And a living snare? Oh, it's for the Mastiff. Okay, cool. No, I think it's a lower level item. Deep beneath the rubble, the scouts uncovered the remains of warehouses, depots, and a veritable maze of suspicious tunnels gated with airlocks. Judging by the flattened containers of half-effaced markings, the impressively vast subterranean city belonged to a smuggling syndicate. And they blew it up. Okay. A little grim. Let's head back to the map. And we should be able to chart new routes, which will give us more navigator's insight. I know the update kind of resolve some of the issues regarding the scarcity of Navigator's Insight, but I don't have access to that, so tough luck to me. Let's head to Silbanakos. We're just going to take the dangerous route, because I don't think we're coming back here. Uh-oh. Enemies of humanity have been spotted aboard the ship. Warp beasts have enthralled the crew in charge of one of the macro cannons and massacred those who resisted the heresy. The Lord Captain is their only hope. I guess we're gonna fight them. Who are we gonna bring? Let's bring Marazai. He needs a bit of fun time. Cassia's navigating. Abelard's in charge of the ship. Jai. We'll bring Solomorn. And Ulfar and Pascal. Screw it. Random party. I just want to use Marazai. I really enjoy his fighting style that, you know, I made with a mod to alter the class restrictions. Because otherwise, I'm afraid he's a bit of a useless character. Especially after the addition of Kibella. Oh, Glytos.
Another scar from my collection.
In the fire there. Let's not be in the fire. Oh, we got bloodletters. Okay. This should be exciting.
Suffering is an acquired taste, and I'm eager to enlighten those who lack natural discernment.
Your arrogance will be your downfall. Pathetic attempt.
Oh shit, I just started the battle. Okay, so do we still have the same issue of standing up on top of the, Do I move her there? I think I'm gonna move her right here in to the middle, although having her be, like, in the back here would probably be wise. Lots of these things can explode. I don't know what the radius is. I'm sure it'll be fine. So, I think what we want to do is drop a frontline stratagem right here.
I won't compromise my principles.
Never mind. I think what I want to do instead is actually drop a backline stratagem. Or maybe even a rear stratagem. Rotate. Wow. The technology. So let's actually drop that here.
On it.
Okay. And then what we're going to do is not do the killzone stratagem. Trench line.
Who, if not me?
Combat locus.
I'll make it happen.
And I'll quickly give some
I'll
prescience
see
to
to it
Marazai.
personally.
Give him more perception. Help reduce enemy dodge chance. And, right, our warp situation is a little tenuous, so let's be somewhat careful.
I'll make it happen.
So Marazai's gonna run right here. Never mind. Ulfar's there. Okay. Well. Guess Marazai will not be benefiting from the things I just did. So I think we're just gonna be shooting in this general direction. Is this the best bet? We can hit the blood ladder. Got 2 actions. Can't really do too much. Where it hurts isn't gonna be useful. Oh, we can always How far can we get with a dash? Not really far enough. If I go here,
I yearn for agony.
and then dash. Ah.
Behold.
Okay, that's a little better. So now we can shoot here. That's... yes. Now we're talking.
With grace. I'm done playing with you.
Pretty solid, all things considered. Yeah. Exsanguinate. Self. I don't think we need to worry about the tactics here so much. This is a lower level encounter, I think. Finest Hour on Marazai.
Accept your lot.
Have him shoot there.
With grace. What a useless plaything. Broken
Glorious.
already.
Anything to be done over there? There's still more enemies up that way. Where can he get the most hits? Or are we just going to do single shots here? Let's do a single shot there. Or not. Okay. Why?
I'm done playing. Why would I do that? Watch.
Wow. Not his finest hour, actually. But anyways, we'll dash into cover.
Grace and malice.
And honestly, I'm going to shoot people as well. Because why the hell not? Shoot these guys up there. Can't shoot everyone, but I'll shoot him.
You should have thought twice before crossing me.
Yeah. Anything else we want to do here? Not really. Yeah, actually, I'll drop a foreboding right here.
Who if not me?
Okay. And we have momentum again, but how much we can do with that again? Okay, Jai. So Jai here has the super short range Happy Fun Time blaster. Let's just test with the long range here. If we run here, can we shoot anyone? Not really, we're just out of range. Hold on. We're gonna have to get a little closer, aren't we?
Watch my back.
So, kill you, kill you. Let's kill that one.
And it's you're not fun.
He is dead, as it so turns out. So we can finish the job on that one.
I can do that. Never fight fair.
Okay. Anybody or anyone we can orchestrated firestorm on? Probably not. Let's give
Don't get
Ulfar
too
some
cocky.
extra turns here. We'll make him
You've
the
got a
linchpin.
I've got a prize.
We'll assign
Am
an
I
objective
getting
on
paid
that
for
guy,
this?
and then we'll give Ulfar the go.
Tell me, and it is done.
Okay, there Ulfar
Our
goes.
foes reek of cowardice.
Yeah, I bet. So, can we kill him? What about a single shot? It's actually not going to kill him, which is a little bit unfortunate. We could dash, though. Get a little closer.
Wolves reign.
Now a single shot should do it. Damn. That's, embarrassing. Got tanked an Astartes bolter round. Anyways, we're going to run here.
Is on the hunt.
Swap to the old pistol and sword.
None can do this better
Chop,
than
chop.
die in disgrace.
He will die in disgrace. And then, why don't we wildfire?
Wolves reign.
I will now shoot him again.
I will carve runes out of your bones.
Trigger, assign objective. Then we can use run and gun and run on over here. And there are indeed two enemies in the line of fire right there, so die.
In disgrace.
Delightful. Go there. Confident approach. We can throw a grenade. I don't think we need to. I think we're going to be just fine. Yeah, no two enemies. Right. And why don't you give Ulfar another
Wanna see
turn?
a trick?
It's cruel. So we're going to leave those two to the rest of the party. Ulfar will run on up here. Single shot, anyone?
See, I will carve
Okay.
runes out of your bones.
Dash right to here. Chop chop. Swap to the actual bolt gun. And you'll run and gun on over here. And they're all nicely in a line. Okay, well, unfortunately he missed with the last one, however.
None can do. I will carve runes out of your bones.
Anyone left? Apparently there's an enemy left somewhere. Where are you? Oh, up here. Okay, didn't see that guy. End turn. Jai's turn. End turn.
I serve the ruinous powers.
That didn't do very much. I guess Ulfar's gonna get him. Because now it's Ulfar's turn. Dash. Actually gonna be able to get in range? Maybe not. So he can't use run and gun again. Can we shoot him? We can. Well, sucks to be you. Okay, that's the encounter. Quickly grab the loot. Don't think it's going to be anything of use, indeed. But it's going to be some crates of shit. I don't know what happens if you let the crew fend for themselves. I reckon the ship will suffer damage. And honestly, scrap is a bit of a premium, so... Can I just grab that? Or no? Alright. Let's get out of here. I wish you could auto-resolve certain battles. This would be one to auto-resolve. We'll make this episode a bit longer, because thus far, nothing really has happened. Which is a little boring. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Okay, we got some Eldar over there. There's no event in this system. I will go take out those Eldari. Because there might be some dialogue that happens. I think it is just going to be an enemy encounter, but you never know. So otherwise, I don't think Cyrene would bother. Some Xenotech. Yeah, build an extraction there. Alright, let's go see what these guys are up to. Ah, I didn't upgrade the ship. Oh well. I think we'll probably be fine. I think this is going to be an encounter geared towards a lower level.
Stay, Glato. This fight is not for you.
So we have 2 escorts, which is pretty cool. We've got the Heartless. And we can't even see the Heartless. But whatever. We have an Aconite up there, Shadowhunter there, and another Shadowhunter there. I think we go straight for the Aconite. So, Lances a go. I mean, I'd rather use the Longfang macro batteries, to be honest. Just because they'll take out more of these shields here.
With the force of a supernova!
That was pretty good. What now? We go forward? No, we don't use new heading, that's for sure. What we could do... Jump forward. Flip to the side over there. We're still not in range. Okay. I didn't need to do that at all. Reinforce the rear shields. Okay. My escort, I don't think took any damage from that, so that's good. Are escorts better? No. Escort's not better. Alright. Instantly killed. wonder if there's going to be space combat in Dark Heresy. I honestly wouldn't care either way. The space combat feels
Macro cannon.
a little bit like an afterthought in some cases. It could have been really good.
Let them taste our
I hear their dying pleas in the void.
Yeah, it could have been good, but I don't know. I feel like it just didn't
engage the engines.
really bring enough.
Helmsman, take us in.
Okay, so we're here now. Okay, there's 3 of these guys. I don't think there's much we can do here, so let's just reinforce the prow shields. And no sense in shooting torpedoes. We could send out some fighters, but also no real sense in doing that. So let's let the enemies do their thing. Let's see how much the Heartless can take. And presumably it can respawn, just like the other one. Yeah, I just wish there was a bit more to do with, like, the escorts and everything. And maybe, like, getting another ship at some point in the game. Or it becomes, like, a whole thing where you have to, like, transfer the equipment and everything. Okay, I mean, the Heartless seems tough, at the very least. It's not taking much damage. Could just be the equipment that it has, but that's at least handy. Okay, so this is a lance. We don't want to use that initially, because the macro cannons are more likely to get rid of their clone fields, or whatever the hell these things are called, mirror fields. So that one's now bare and exposed, which will let our lances get rid of it. Okay, torpedoes? Yes.
Up the pressure.
So, I don't think there's going to be much we can do here, but I'm going to make that one turn, because that'll be another one that can then potentially have fun with the torpedoes later. And I think that's what we're doing. Focused efforts? Nah. I mean, expeditious reload would be good, but can't do that right now. Just have to see. Attacking me. Alright, that did nothing. And this one's coming around, and our torpedoes will feast. Okay, we are taking a little bit of damage with all of that. Heartless swings around. Can't shoot, though. It's our turn again, interestingly enough. Okay, plasma battery on you.
Macro cannon. Open fire.
Okay, well,
Salvo.
might not even get to use our torpedoes. So we'll do a new heading. Swing in real close. Bring our prow weapons to bear.
With the force of a supernova.
Oh, didn't hit, unfortunately. So... oh, we can drop torpedo control? Ah, lame. Alright, well, anyways, we'll be here. And now it's our torpedo's turn, so, oh, now it's still our ship's turn. We'll shallow jump through them. And then from there, we'll swing around like so. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So our torpedoes just, I don't know. So we took an extra turn before our torpedoes did. Right? Am I reading that right? I feel like that was pretty useless. Just whatever. Get rid of them.
Coordinates set.
Yeah. Unavailable. Huh?
Fire at will.
Is that because of the cloud? Does that make that unavailable? Could be. Okay, all our void trophies. All specs multiband, okay. Ooh. Provides allies with targeting. Okay. I don't know about that. I don't feel like the allies are worth investing much into. It's cool that that's a thing. It's just like, The escort dies instantly. Anyways, we have 2 new abilities here. Getting... The vulnerability scan is an option. What's all hands on deck? Maximum overdrive. Oh. Might make us ram a little bit. You know what? I want it. Because I want to ram something. I want to do it once. Yeah. We'll take premonition as well. Okay. So, checking the components here. So we have a couple of guns. Yeah, we have type in ascending order. Okay. So let's see here. Melt-a-bomb mortar. Medium range, 4 shots, 21 damage per. Whenever it hits, it has a 75% chance to start internal fires. You can't, like, you only get one of them, which means you're going to have this stupid asymmetrical thing there. 2 autonomous aiming modules. What does that mean? Oh, can be used twice per turn. As opposed to the Hecutors. The Hecutors are long range, though. 3 shots, 33. This has the potential to do more damage, but you gotta be up close, so I'm probably not going to use that. And then the small macro cannon. Okay, short-range dorsal plasma macro cannon. 8 shots is, it's not nothing. It's just... I'm better off with the long fang. Godsbane Lance. Medium-range lance, yeah. I mean, lances are nice. It's just the abundance of evasion-specific things, or like the mirror shields and shadow fields, make lances a little bit less effective. I think we're better off with the armor we have. The engine here, 15 speed with low acceleration and braking. This is 13 speed with strong acceleration and braking. Not sure what low or strong acceleration and braking mean. Obviously, like, strong is going to be better. And I think I want to go with the stronger acceleration and braking. Being able to control your movement is, I think, the way to go. Oh, wow. Technically better. There's a lot of energy weapons in-game, so... And we still have the fighters here. Yeah, we have the Wrath Fighters. Power Shield Amplifier. As opposed to, what do I currently have? Restores 20 flagship hull points each turn. Yeah. Again. That could be fun. Let's try it. The flaks or macro cannons, particularly on the dorsal one. That could be really good. Good way to do a little bit of damage to groups of enemies. Stuff like torpedoes and fighters. Okay, yep. I think we're good to go. Check what's going on here. Hopefully something. Idex is a planet of no particular note. However, the small station suspended in its orbit sends a distress call to your ship. The man in the hurried Vox transmission introduces himself as the planet's governor and asks the rogue trader's assistance in a delicate matter. He promises to supply the details in a private Vox conversation. Study records concerning the planet. It appears Idex has recently suffered a major coup. One of its noble families seized power and made outcasts of the former dynasty. Such plots are not uncommon, although notably Idex has become less prosperous under the new government. Agree and speak with the governor discreetly. The governor, transmitting on your personal Vox frequency, whispers that Idex's current authorities are not who they claim to be. There has been an uprising on the planet and a heretical sect has seized control. The governor pleads with you to launch an immediate strike on the government palace. With their top tier obliterated, the new authorities will be unable to hold on to power. Okay. Yeah, right. Roldo was from Idex. Let's Ask if the governor knows the ruler of Thessera, Roldo, who hails from the planet Idex. The governor is glad to hear that you know Roldo, who is his distant relative. Being a friend to Roldo makes the rogue trader a friend to the governor of Idex. He might just be naive. He might not know what happened to Roldo. So, the options here are... He's lying. The usurpers are not actually heretics. But they are usurpers. That much corresponds with what we know. Obliterating them might just be his ploy to get back in power. In which case, might be more profitable to us to actually do that, because the previous government was indeed more prosperous. However, this might not be the previous governor at all. He could just be calling himself that. We blow up his station, planet continues on as normal, or we do nothing. I'm not really sure. Fuck it, let's go with it. Strike at the governor of the governmental palace with macro cannons. Whoever the planet's official ruler, whoever was the planet's official ruler has been reduced to less than servo skull material. Right. Let me get some heretic trophies. Well, I guess they were heretics. The governor on the station sends you his tearful thanks along with his generous gifts. Hold on, why? So he sent heretic trophies. You know, we can always come back and blow it up later. I don't know if we can do that, but that's my narrative reason. I don't know. I think we may have gotten duped. But they didn't really give us much to go off of. Maybe it's one of those things that, like, had we found something else somewhere else, we might have had more clues, which would have been cool. Nothing to be found there. Regardless, we got some navigator's insight, so that's nice. Let's head back to Lavella's Heart. Hopefully there's no boarding encounter. I don't feel like doing another one. The Lord Captain and her crew have lost track of how much time they have spent in the warp jump. The vessel itself, the groaning of the bulkheads, the Voxmaster's reports, it all happened so many times before and would happen yet again. No matter what occurred, the officers could not shake the feeling that they were running in circles as if the voyage across the Sea of Souls would be eternal. Routine actions blended into grey nothingness and filled the crew's hearts with anguish. Many members considered submitting to the mercy of the chaotic power outside. Days went by, but the navigator did not give the order to leave the Immaterium. Heed my inner voice. Or we can contact the navigator. What? My inner voice is the fucking edge of daybreak. No. Contact the navigator. 4 navigators' insight. Alright. The navigator gave praise to the God Emperor that the Lord Captain had replied at last. It turned out the ship had gotten stranded in a temporal anomaly, and only the vessel's Psykers had managed to resist its malignant influence. The warp is full of countless riddles, but this one has finally been solved and stands ready to release the ship into real space. Okay, good call. We don't need to talk to the Edge of Daybreak.
Lord Captain, I humbly request an audience with you. Proctor Anthar is interfering with the crew and is demanding to see all the archival records of fugitive criminals we have ever received from the Imperial Navy. The matter is urgent, if you please, Lord Captain.
I will meet both of you immediately.
Thank you, Lord Captain.
Okay, so, Victus is concerned about something. I would normally give Anthar authority to just do this. But if Victus is concerned, I'll humor her. She's been a good crew member.
Your Ladyship, Proctor Anthar is interfering in the work of the crew. He is intimidating and threatening them, demanding access to the ship's sealed archives. And as for his dog,
Victus pauses, shifting her gaze to the Cybermastiff and tucking her hands behind her back.
I humbly request that you take action.
Victus, what's wrong with your hand?
Allow me to explain.
The Voxmaster tried to pet Glyto, which activated his self-defense protocol. As a result, I had to step away from my duties to have my implants replaced, esteemed Proctor. I already apologized. In any case, what happened was the expected outcome from unauthorized contact with the living weapon of the Adeptus Arbites.
Vigdis, why did you try to pet Glyto?
I didn't.
This is the first time you have ever seen the Voxmaster so agitated.
I did not try to pet him. It is not customary to keep such cyber beasts on a void ship, Lord Captain. This is my first encounter with such a creature, that Glyto. It was following me all over the bridge. And you decided to interfere with his work protocol.
Vigdis cast Solomorn a cold glance before continuing.
I had studied the archives and found mention of a ritual to establish contact that involves an offering of physical interaction with the beast. You are literally talking about bribery, a pointless act. Cybermastiffs cannot be bribed, and neither can arbitrators.
Be silent, both of you. Vigdis falls silent, but she continues to glare daggers at the Proctor surreptitiously. Solomorn only nods. Solomorn, why are you sabotaging the work of the crew?
I was compelled to intervene as Glyto had intercepted a suspicious signal. The encrypted message contained words heresy and fugitive. I managed to trace the signal back to the Voxmaster's workstation. I dispatched Glyto on a reconnaissance mission to obtain new evidence and ultimately to ensure your safety.
Okay.
In other words, you sent the beast to follow me. I questioned the crew in the Voxmaster's absence and established that the wanted bulletins sent by the Imperial Navy were being completely ignored. I suspect that Senior Officer Tolleman is abusing your trust.
What do you have to say to that, Vigdis? Vigdis presses her hands together.
Reports of fugitive criminals, which number in the hundreds, are of low priority. What's more, I know that Lord Captain Theodora was most adamant on the matter. If you forgive me, her exact words were, "We are not Grok's damned bounty hunters." The Proctor would know that if he had brought his questions to me rather than interrogating astropaths and comms officers. As for the Vox transmissions, the frequency on which the senior officers communicate is encrypted. I alerted the staff to the situation with the voidsman who was brought to you on the bridge to stand trial. Need I remind the Lord Captain that Proctor Anthar has no authority to access transmissions conducted by senior officers on the Rogue Trader's flagship, not to mention that the signal was wrongfully intercepted.
Did you know that one of the voidsmen was a fugitive heretic?
No, Lord Captain. He was not in the list of wanted criminals in the Coronus Expanse. I assume it was because of the relative insignificance of the heresies he was accused of by the Calixian authorities. Perhaps Proctor Anthar had information to which the Imperial Navy does not have access.
Solomon, what are you suggesting?
Your flagship is untouchable for external inspections because of its high status, and criminals are taking advantage of that. So you need an internal audit. You need to pull up the archives of wanted bulletins and double-check the crew records. That is the only way to identify and eliminate potential threats to you. This is madness for a ship whose officer corps alone comprises hundreds of people. The work hours that would be required for such an audit.
I have listened to you and I am ready to make a decision. Solomon will be granted access to the archives and lead an audit of my crew.
As you command, Lord. Rogue Trader.
Yeah. What he says is a bit concerning. So we're going to do that. We don't need to go, indeed, bounty hunting for heretics unless there's one of particular significance. However, if there's heretics on my crew, beyond, a certain somebody that's currently on screen right now who's technically not a heretic, but definitely, a problem, and a few other people that I'm already aware of, I want to know of them. And again, if it seems like the heresies are indeed very minor and they're attempting to redeem themselves and also get away from being shot, which is certainly something that can happen, I'll judge them more favorably. So, we've got a couple of things. Scout out the planet the message to Voitvir was sent from. That's a thing we can do. And we have, we can inform the prefect of the... Yeah, let's go do that. That'll finish up the, our BT's quest line. So we'll fly on over there. Visit the system. And let's get to Dargonus. Okay, fantastic. Administratum. Okay, I guess that's happening here. Definitely not you. Also not you. That seems like a respectable team. There we go. Okay, back in my favorite place in the entire Imperium. I've spent a significant portion of my life in here. Where do we go? In here? Oh, there's some goods here. Hello. Ah, we got some reports. Ordering the destruction of the special category item Thesertium Natural Psi Focus. There is a note in the margin that has been underlined twice. Existence of similar resources? Check the mining register. Okay. Report. Capture of the Heartless. Boarded the Heartless as part of the unit led by S. Anthar. Neutralized the target Sargona. The captured vessel was turned into an escort ship. The word escort has been circled several times in ink. Whose notes are these? Report. Rykad Minoris. Assisted in the suppression of the rebellion on Rykad Minoris. Departed unscathed. The world is to be considered null and void. A side note reads, damage assessment, tithe recalculation, urgent. So, someone's been following us. The shriveled insect-like woman greets you with a keen look.
Welcome to the Temple of Law and Order, your ladyship. I have already informed that you are here about Thesera.
Prefect Volture nods to herself and snaps her brittle fingers, prompting a servo skull to flit closer, the creaking of its quill filling the air.
Begin entry 51-4 Alpha. In the matter of the world, Thesera and its obligation to pay the Imperial tithe. This audience with the Prefect of the Adeptus Administratum is now in session. Now then, what were your findings, Cyrene von Valancius?
A heretic had seized power on Thesera. I had him executed.
I see.
The old woman looks at you intently over her ocular lenses.
That is regrettable news, even if your action was forced by circumstance. The loss of the governor means the loss of the very stability that any servant of the administratum is immutably obligated to uphold and protect. Well, let us get to the record, then.
The prefect turns to the servo skull.
Rogue trader Cyrene von Valancius effected the execution of the governor of Thesera appointed by the Adeptus Administratum. Preliminary damage assessment and restoration forecast of the world's key structures, Class A, severe, noted, and recorded.
The tithe deliveries from Thesera will be restored to their former capacity. Actually, no, I'm not going to say this. Solomon, tell the prefect everything else.
I'm afraid I cannot accept another person's report.
Her shriveled fingers nimbly extract a piece of parchment from her stack of papers. It is covered in minuscule writing.
According to Coronus Expanse Statute 19A11, any decision pertaining to matters of the tithe shall solely be answered for by the person that directly made said decision. A report made by any other person shall be deemed legally null and void.
The prefect puts the document back in its place.
As you can see, there is a sacred stipulation that you submit your report in person and that I accept it from no one else.
Very well. And the tithe deliveries from Thesera will be restored to their former capacity.
This is all you need to know. Prefect grimaces. I can quite confidently deem that outcome to be adverse to the interests of the Imperium. Alas, your ladyship, I am duty-bound to deliver an exact and impartial assessment of the events. Rogue trader Cyrene von Valancius, upon learning about the existence of deposits of a natural psi-focus located on the world Thessera, destroyed said material in its entirety. Consequently, the Imperium was deprived of a highly prized resource. Noted and recorded. Uh-oh. Yeah, so we got a spy on board. I don't think it's Solomorn. Oh, Jesus. Dear Lord. The prefect chews on her lip in thought. I will be frank with you, your ladyship. The conclusions that were drawn regarding the Thessera inspection were far from satisfactory. Minor disturbances such as a mass execution of mutants or a rabble's plot disguised as a celebration are not nearly as dangerous as the, if you will permit my choice of words, coup that resulted from your intervention. I understand that consequences are something that those endowed with power are wont to leave to their servants to deal with, and therefore something they find acceptable to ignore. Inscribia's ocular lenses flash as she looks up from her scrolls. However, I hope my words may help you to revise your approach to executing the Imperium's will in the Dargonus expanse in the future. With a tap of her nail, she dismisses the servo skull. So they don't like that we killed the guy, even though he was a heretic, because he wasn't giving the fucking tithe. I took care of a problematic world of yours, and you are twisting the facts regarding my efforts. The prefect's ocular lenses flash as she replies in an offended tone. I, his lowly and unworthy servant, have no right to twist any facts. My duty is to assess consequences and do everything I can to make sure the Imperium receives what it is owed. That is the purpose of my existence. Suddenly, the old woman's voice becomes less stern and almost didactic. Speaking from my wealth of experience, if I do say so myself. Taking care of the Imperium's prosperity is a heavy burden, albeit an honorable one. The fact that even a rogue trader can run into difficulties while doing it only further confirms my many years of observations. If you think the Caesarean mineral is so important to the Imperium, make it part of the tithe. What is the problem? Of course, you have the power to change your decision at the snap of your fingers, but its implementation will fall to thousands upon thousands of administratum functionaries. They will have to first record the previous status of the tithe, and then begin an equally lengthy process of re-registering the payment. As servants of law and order, we cannot simply skip the cumbersome parts. Procedure must be followed meticulously, lest we become mired in anarchy. How did you even obtain such detailed information about the events on Thessera? Duty dictates that administratum officials always be adequately informed. Otherwise, our service to the Imperium's order would be of rather questionable use. Unfortunately, it is for this reason that I cannot disclose my sources to you. Very well. One way or another, we can consider the matter of Thessera closed. Am I correct? Closed and recorded, yes. The old woman smacks her lips in satisfaction. However, this was just the first item on the agenda. Now, on to the next matter. The prefect beckons over another servo skull, which obediently takes its place at her side. Begin entry 52-1 Sigma, competency assessment of Proctor Solomon Anthar based on his performance during the mission on the world Thessera. You hear a painfully metallic creak as Solomon's augmented hand clenches into a fist. Competency assessment? Very well, Prefect. I am listening. Solomon did nothing that could be considered a violation of the Lex Imperialis. So as to avoid the misunderstanding, allow me to clarify that I am not making any judgment, but rather gathering information at Marshal Strax's request. The Prefect turns to Solomon. Proctor Anthar, you will be evaluating your own conduct in this instance. For my part, I will merely state a few key points. Let us begin. How would you describe your performance, taking into account the following facts? Voltura produces a parchment scroll. You took part in the execution of an administratum appointee without its appropriate permission. You also allowed yourself to be captured, thus endangering your mission and imperiling the valuable equipment issued to you by the Adeptus Arbites. What is more, you sanctioned a tithe-related decision that carries adverse consequences for the Imperium. The old woman pauses. That is all. Proceed to your self-evaluation.
Solomorn's heavy gaze is fixed upon the prefect as he slowly forces the first word out of his jaws, as if they have turned to stone.
I took every effort, and was acting solely in the name of the Lex Imperialis. However, the outcome of the mission speaks for itself. My verdict is thus that my performance in the Tessera case was inadequate. Noted and recorded.
The prefect's immaculately polished ocular lenses bore into you once more.
Now that the Tessera inspection report has been properly entered into the record, allow me, on behalf of the Adeptus Administratum, to officially extend our gratitude to you for the support you provided us. May the Von Valancius name be forever praised, and may the Emperor protect your dynasty for many generations to come. That said, I must now request your assistance in a different capacity. A number of highly important court cases have accumulated in the Palace of Justice, the kind that require formal resolutions by the rogue trader herself.
I don't think she's biased against Solomorn. I think given the perspective that we now know the Administratum has on the thing, I don't think Solomorn's being harsh on himself. We're not going to ask what the Palace of Justice is, even though I technically don't know what the Palace of Justice is. I'm a rogue trader. I should know what the Palace of Justice is, so we're going to fake it till we make it.
How will this trial proceed? The defendants will speak first, whereupon you can ask me clarifying questions on the case, and then,
the old woman gives you a meaningful look over her ocular lens,
a death sentence must be passed. You are of course free to judge otherwise, but an execution is preferable since every case that will come before you, an outcome without highly unpleasant consequences is unlikely. Executions reduce the number of malcontents and motivate prospective defendants to solve their problems before they come under the purview of the rogue trader's court.
Great. Guilty until proven innocent. Or guilty regardless of innocence.
One of the rogue trader's many duties is to mete out justice. I agree. There is one thing, rogue trader. By the order of Marshal Strox, Proctor Anthar has been assigned a short-term mission. He is to take his leave of your retinue at dawn. As this is a matter of extreme urgency, the Adeptus Arbites would appreciate your understanding.
Not going to argue. We're also not going to ask what mission, because I don't think we're going to be... You know what, I'm going to ask what mission.
What mission? Proctor Anthar is to lead an arbitrator squad tasked with neutralizing some dangerous criminals who are threatening the Administratum's interest. A rather mundane assignment, as you may have gathered. I see. Good luck on your assignment, Solomorn.
Thank you, rogue trader.
I have relegated my current tasks in advance, and thus am ready to escort you to the Palace of Justice immediately. Please, follow me.
Alright, well, here we go. We'll finish this up and then, I think, end the episode afterwards. Alright, a little bit of cinematic. Always nice. I remember this from the trailer. Is that the execution method? Just get fucking blasted by a, Inferno cannon? I don't know, seems a little overdue. Court Administrator. You are greeted by an impeccably dressed man with a perfectly straight back. An Arbites scale emblem is embroidered on his clothes.
Glory to House von Valancius. We are honored to welcome you to the Palace of Justice, your ladyship. Do you wish to proceed to the session at once, or will you grace me with any questions I might humbly answer?
What is this place?
This is the Palace of Justice, the 9th residence of House von Valancius, erected by your esteemed ancestor Benefaz von Valancius, and handed over by Theodora von Valancius, may she ever bask in the throne's radiance, to the Adeptus Arbites and the Administratum for judiciary use. Cases of special interests are heard at this palace. Sentences are carried out here also.
Are there any other such institutions elsewhere in my protectorate?
No, your ladyship. As is the case with the rest of the Imperium,
Worlds make do with the traditional method. The accused are not allowed to say a word, and the executions are carried out as ordered by planetary authorities or by powerful organizations of the Imperium. Only here on Dargonus does such an unusual ceremony exist. Benefaz von Valancius was known for his eccentricities. It is said that he invented the system himself and started this glorious tradition in which you are to take part today. No trial. Blam.
What kinds of cases are usually heard here?
Only the most important ones that involve the interests of the highest-born persons and prominent factions of the Imperium. Disputes between noble houses that go for generations, conflicts between the God Emperor's servants who are vested with authority and whose disagreements affect trade and security in the Protectorate, and other litigations of supreme significance. Oh, he's still here.
The cases are litigated, or the cases litigated at the Palace of Justice quite literally concern matters of life and death. In such instances, there is always a guilty party whose lies, connivances, or negligence have caused damage to the Protectorate. The task of the judge is to establish guilt and pass a stern sentence. As order cannot be imposed without these. Well, without summary executions.
Ah, I see. It's not like somebody comes up, there's a court case against that person, and then you execute them. Yeah. There's two parties involved, you listen to both, and then you blast one of them. Exciting.
Well then, let us begin.
Please, follow me. I feel like, this could go wrong, but then again, Owlcat does do these types of segments, like in Pathfinder with the, if you play that one Mystic Path, you also get to do, like, arbitration stuff.
In Scribia Vulture's dreary, vox-amplified voice carries across the hall. The court will now hear case DP 1453-2. The doleful host against the astropathic choir of Dargonus. Representatives for the parties will present their arguments following standard procedure.
A woman with lines of scripture all over her skin folds her arms into an Aquila.
My name is Sister Juth, and I represent the doleful host. O God Emperor's anointed one, we came upon a group of heretics whose mind brimmed with the most shameless thoughts. We captured them and tortured them as befits their transgressions. From what we were able to discern from their wailing and screaming, the head of the astropathic choir is plotting to betray House von Valancius. No one is a liar when flame is caressing their skin. The doleful host surrounded the choir building and demanded that the heretic be handed over. It was solely out of respect for the Anointed One that we refrained from burning down the wayward heretic's den on the spot. However, say but the word and we shall take him, that he may undergo a righteous cleansing.
The arguments are acknowledged and shall be weighed on the scales of justice. The representative will retreat to the Chapel of Patience to await the verdict. Master Angilio. The gaunt man dressed in Astropath's robes is standing tall, but his voice trembles with fury.
I am Master Angilio. I represent the Dargonus Astropathic Choir. These insidious and ignorant people are passing off their victims' ravings as truth. Your ladyship, people will say anything under torture just to make the agony stop. We have served House von Valancius faithfully for decades. Master Prass, the longest of all. Please order them to stand down.
The master of the court repeats the same monotonous formula, bidding the other representative to leave the courtroom. Switch on the Vox.
Vigdis. Quick, ask our ship's choir master whether Master Prass of Dargonus has been known to engage in any compromising behavior. At once, Lord Captain.
The Palace of Justice falls silent for several minutes until Vigdis's voice returns.
Choirmaster Wise has known Master Prass for quite a long time. He has made a very measured statement to the effect that for some time now the mental images conveyed by Prass have taken on a shade of profound anxiety and have become more aloof and detached overall. Zachary Wise attributes this to Prass's horrific experience during the warp storm, but he is less than completely sure, as there is still something that sets the Dargonus choirmaster's messages apart from those of his fellow survivors.
Interesting. There's a lot of questions we can ask here. I like that.
Give me the details about the parties to this conflict. I want to see who among them is trustworthy.
As the prefect leans towards you, you get a whiff of ink and candle wax.
The doleful host is a respected cult of the God Emperor. The Adeptus Ministorum has deemed them to be paragons of virtue, who combat every manner of heresies, and has enlisted their aid in various conflicts. Naturally, the ecclesiarchy stops short of counting them among its warriors, but it uses them in very similar ways. The astropathic choir hardly needs an introduction. They are some of the most valuable servants of the Imperium, without whom any and all communication between your worlds would collapse. The Dargonus choir took horrific casualties in the recent WARPSTONE. Master Pras made an enormous effort to at least partially restore communication. While we may not have proof of his innocence, Pras's dedication to his duty is beyond doubt.
The old woman locks her shriveled fingers together.
As you can see, this is an intricate situation.
Ooh. Apparently an Imperium test would give us an idea here. I want to hear my retinue's opinions.
Lord Captain, without a choir master, the power of Dargonus' astropaths would be significantly diminished. Unless a worthy replacement is found for Master Pras, he cannot be executed.
The Seneschal frowns.
There is a Cordar world that owes us a debt, which can be repaid with a seasoned astropath. We can make the request, although it would leave the planet in question with barely any means of communication. Both parties have shown disrespect for the Imperium's authority. The doleful host is engaging in mob justice, and the defendant did not even deign to stand trial in person. Sentence them both to death. That would be the optimal outcome.
No.
Solomon, is it not excessive to execute both parties?
No, such a verdict will remind your subjects that only the rogue trader has the right to administer justice. Besides, if you take the host's side, it will inspire new self-proclaimed executioners, and if you absolve the astropath and he turns out to have been guilty after all, other heretics will feel safe to act with impunity. That is why I advise you to be stern. The Lex is on your side.
Okay. I would like to hear out the parties. Okay. We can't hear them out anymore. That's what that means. Why are they putting things on the scales?
The scales of justice are a sacred relic installed as a testament to the alliance between the von Valancius dynasty on one side and the Adeptus Arbites and the Administratum on the other. Legends say ancient machine spirits dwell within the relic. The scales of justice are only used on extraordinary occasions when an intervention from the rogue trader is necessary. Ceremony dictates that items symbolizing the parties' arguments be placed on the scales, and once the verdict is announced, the machine spirits weigh the decision made and show either affirmation or rejection through the position of the scales. However, there has never been an occurrence where the rogue trader and the spirits of the scales were divided on the verdict.
Interesting. We are literally the scales of justice, the conductor of the choir of death. Points for you if you get the reference. It is highly unlikely that such an artifact actually exists. Judging by the design of the device, it is nothing more than a set of regular, albeit enormous and masterfully crafted weight scales devoid of machine spirits of any kind. Someone must be secretly manipulating the plates in order to add greater profoundness to the rogue trader's verdict, of course. I guess that's what's behind us. We can't really see it at the moment. No. Can I give this further, yeah, the situation is complex and requires further investigation. The prefect's dry fingers press down on the runes on her data slate.
As I thought. I deeply regret to inform you that said further investigation is impossible. The host's fighters are already breaking down the doors of the choir. Delaying the decision would lead to uncontrollable consequences. I heard you, and I am ready to pass my judgment.
Wow. God, I don't know. Honestly, Solomon made a pretty convincing case. I know, like, you should be innocent before you're proven guilty, or, you know, you're innocent until you're proven guilty, yada, yada, yada. By the modern sense of justice, we don't have nearly enough to get Cross on. There is some suspicion, though. Weiss has detected something off about him. And with the warp, you cannot fucking take chances. So regardless, I think we're gonna have to execute Cross. Mob justice can't be allowed to happen in this manner, though. I agree with Solomon. Both parties to the case are guilty. Execute them. The scales are even.
A harsh verdict, but from now on your subjects will hardly dare escalate situations to the point of open clashes. In cases similar to this one, of course. The rogue trader has made her decision. Arbitrators, carry it out.
Well. The prefect proceeds matter-of-factly to the next scroll.
The court will now hear petitioner CR 154733 restated. The petitioner is Cardinal Anvilas. Your arguments, please, Cardinal.
Okay. Well, a lone cardinal. The gaunt man raises his bloodshot eyes to you. For a moment, all sounds cease, even the scratching of the countless servo skulls quills. The man's gaze is full of pain so strong and undiluted that your breath seizes in your throat.
I am impure, O Emperor's anointed one. I am beset by impure thoughts, but no one believes my confessions. I have been giving away the treasures I possess only for people to bring me more. Worse still is the knowledge that I am leading people astray. They look at me and believe a state of perfect grace is attainable, while I am very tired.
The cardinal blinks away a tear and continues.
But most terrible of all is that my brethren, the preachers of the Coronus Expanse, see me as a holy man. Their delusion has been so persistent that they sent a petition to Holy Terra asking that I be made a saint. That was when I became firm in my decision to submit to torture in front of my congregation, thus reminding them that no holiness exists unless bestowed as a gift by the God Emperor. Even clerics of my rank can and must repent, thus becoming more pure every day. Please allow me to undergo mortal torture in his name in front of my parishioners.
Am I hearing this correctly? Is the cardinal asking to be tortured to death for his wickedness?
That is correct. In addition, he insists on your subjects bearing witness to it, as a lesson to them, so to speak. To refuse a cardinal is impious in itself, but to execute one who is a saint in all but name...
You devise an elegant rendering of the sentence, one that will convince everyone that you are in the right and save you from being branded a saint killer. All you must do is accuse the cardinal of intending to murder an all but canonized individual. I don't like that idea at all. Oh, this is one's weird. What does my retinue have to say? Situation analysis complete. Let the paradox cease. Let functionality triumph. Suggestion: use the unit cardinal and Vilas's organic remains to construct a servo-skull herald and place it in an automated chapel. The status of sainthood will be extended to the liturgical mechanism. Okay.
The blood-spun web is knowledgeable in ways to torment one's flesh without going to the undying one before due time, Domin. Allow us to help Cardinal Anvilas attain enlightenment and experience the purity of a near-death state. Undergoing our rite should make him realize it's not in his gift to sever his own thread.
That's probably our best bet.
According to the Lex Imperialis, a candidate saint may personally challenge their sainting by petitioning the Ecclesiarch on Holy Terra. Sidestepping the head of the Imperial cult is a violation of the Emperor's law.
Since astropathic communication with the rest of the Imperium has been disrupted, I propose to put Cardinal Anvilas on a ship that crosses the Maw, so that he can submit his request with every formality observed. But Solomon, the Maw is closed. That does nothing to diminish the stipulations of the Lex Imperialis. Besides, following the letter of the law absolves you of the necessity of tainting your hands with the blood of a potential saint. Either the Cardinal will cross the Maw, thus proving his sainthood, or he will perish if the Emperor wills it. As you can see, the Lex Imperialis has all the answers. Okay. I'm ready to pass my judgment. Attention, the rogue trader speaks!
We get some mechanisms. This one complacency. We do that. We could do this, yeah. I think we're going to go with Kibella here. Kibella has made a good suggestion. The Cardinal shall undergo sacred torture in the established fashion of the blood-spun web. I expect he will reconsider his views on death in the process. The old woman chews her lip anxiously. That grants the request only in part, but she glances over quickly at Kibella. You are probably the only one who believes the Cardinal will survive the Death Cult's ordeal. If everything happens as you envision it, the Cardinal will back down from his intention and his flock will not be bereft of their saint. The rogue trader has made her will clear. Cardinal Anvilas will leave the Palace of Justice and accept his fate. Let us move on to the last case for today. The court will now hear case DP 1646-7, Lady Mollis Secundus against the late Lord Mollis. Lord Mollis being deceased, he will be represented by his progeny Agartha and Gilas Mollis. Fuck. Representatives for the parties will present their arguments following standard procedure. Your Ladyship, I am Lady Mollis Secundus. Only 8 cycles ago, a man broke into my house posing as my husband, the late Lord Mollis. Contrary to what I know, he denies that he was killed by pirates. Instead, he purportedly survived, thanks to the God Emperor's providence. However, I hold here his death certificate issued by the Administratum, which clearly states that my husband passed away. I demand that this fraud be executed. The woman belligerently waves around a scroll in which the words, "Declared dead," are clearly visible. Okay, yeah, that again. Agartha Mollis is, well, we can't turn the camera, really. Not the best camera placement, or can we? No. Oh, we can. Perfect.
Your Ladyship, our father did survive. He really was captured by pirates who were going to demand ransom, but the Imperial Navy managed to board the ship and rescue him. After he went missing, our mother, Lady Mollis, arranged for a death certificate before we received the good news. Now we are in the humiliating position of having to prove that our father is alive while our mother is living with her new husband, Lord Secundus, and has taken over our family business. We implore you to restore Lord Mollis to life and name. He is humbly awaiting your decision in the Chapel of Patience.
Okay.
What does Lord Mollis have to say?
The prefect plays a vox recording on one of the servo skulls. The soft voice is interspersed with static, but you are able to make out the words.
I am Mollis. When the pirates captured me, I thought I was doomed, but fate proved to be more gracious than that. I hurried home, only to from my own house by my servants, and learned that Lady Mollis had already declared me dead and married Lord Secundus. She'd also taken control of our everything. Agartha and Shilas have recognized me. I'm losing my mind. What does the Mollis family do?
The prefect turns on one of her countless data slates.
The Mullis family manufactures nutritional rations. They supply the Astra Militarum as well as worlds that have no food production of their own. With the Lord at the helm, they covered the needs of 3 regiments and 5 worlds. Now it is 5 regiments and 12 worlds. One might say Lady Mullis Secundus has done much better than her husband did.
Alright, here's the but, because before, not much reason to not roast Lady Mullis. Here's the reason why not to. As much as you would like to turn the situation to your advantage, you cannot think of a solution. Let my retinue speak. Heinrich rubs the bridge of his nose, looking tired.
This absurdity has dragged on for too long. So be it, the Emperor as my witness. I am reluctant to revisit my early training experience in the Administratum, but I am going to have to. Does Lady Mullis Secundus have a paper that certifies she is alive? If not, the defendant is to be deemed dead, with all that entails.
God, Heinrich's crashing out is great.
If Lady Mullis Secundus is right, then her children are the impostor's accomplices and are guilty of defaming the authenticity of the Administratum's documents.
Now Solomon has enough sang-froid in him for a regiment.
Let the woman know that her heirs must face the same fate as the criminal, for so stipulates the Emperor's law. Prefect, relay Solomon's words to Lady Mullis Secundus.
It's a good plan, actually.
As you wish.
The prefect's dry fingers tap quickly on her data slate. Soon afterwards, she looks up from her vid screen and says in a colorless voice,
Lady Mullis Secundus has confessed to bribing an Administratum official and is pleading for her offspring to be spared. The case is clear to me now. I am ready to pass my verdict. All will be silent. What is your decision, your ladyship? Well, Prefect, let us discuss the crime committed inside the Administratum that has led to this hearing.
The indignant prefect shakes her head, energetically.
She is a mother trying to save her children. That may have been a false confession, and what is worse, the false accusation against the sacred service of the Administratum. Have you forgotten that I am a rogue trader and that I can dispense justice right here and now?
The old woman presses her lips into a thin line.
Perish the thought. Your position as an Emperor-blessed judge is unquestionable.
I think we're going to go with Iconoclast here. And again, what's Dogmatic saying? Along with all their superiors. I might go with Dogmatic here. The Administratum pisses me off. And honestly, they could use an internal audit themselves. It's a day for internal audits, I've decided.
Lady Mullis Secundus is hereby sentenced to death. The Administratum shall conduct an internal audit and execute the fraudulent clerk along with all their superiors, excluding you, Prefect. Another case like this, and the cannon of the law will be pointed at you.
Ooh, maybe the scales are going to go against me.
Can you even imagine all the procedural disruption in the wake of executing so many...
She shrinks under your implacable gaze, almost disappearing into her robe.
The verdict is clear. Each sentence will be carried out under my personal oversight.
Well... As the last attendants leave the courtroom, the prefect turns to you with a delighted expression.
Lady Theodora held court sessions like this to strengthen her subjects' faith in the Lex Imperialis and their fear of breaching it. A most useful practice, wouldn't you agree?
Is this a court of justice? I mean, it's probably better justice than what we get anywhere else. I'm not going to say this. I mean, it is a bit of a farce, but it's less of a farce than elsewhere. So we'll hold on to it.
Are there no more active disputes in my domain? Come now, bring me a few more misguided souls.
Your enthusiasm is laudable, but as I'm sure you understand, any manner of procedure requires prior registration, which in turn involves filling out of official forms and signing regulation-approved documents. It is for this reason that I am, alas, unable to honor your request. With your permission, I will now return to my duties. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's an exciting day. And we have leveled up. But I will not do that in this episode. This episode's gone on long enough. Yeah, drop this video a like if you have enjoyed it. In the next one, we will see where the rest of this carries off. It appears we are floating, or at least Abelard and Heinrichs are. I don't know, and Pascal. Everyone but Solomorn is floating. And me. And Glyto. Alright, well...
Is there money to be made?
Yeah, indeed. Drop this video a like if you have enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one. Ash Heritor out, and the Emperor protects. Unless you're a heretic, then you get blasted with an Inferno cannon.